Hi, this is Deborah Atkinson, the voice for fitness and the author of Navigating Fitness After 50, your GPS for choosing programs and professionals that you can trust. If you're not 50 yet, don't go away. But if you've got back problems, no matter what your age, hang in here for just a second. And I'm going to give you something in about 90 seconds or 2 minutes that can't possibly cover all the information that I could share with you about the best way to alleviate pain, to do some stretches, and to get to some strengthening exercises to prevent back pain and injuries from happening in the future. To get access to that, click here. And I know one of the first things you're going to see when you go there is enter your name and enter your email. And the last thing you want, like me, is another email staring at you in your inbox any day of the week, but particularly Monday. So we'll avoid that one. But remember this is one you signed up for, one that's going to offer you some value. And if you've got back problems, it's not a physical problem alone. And I know that because I've had one too. It's a mental and emotional problem. It's a productivity problem. It's getting enough work done. And it's basically overall quality of life is lower problem. And that's never good. So I've had the back issue. Mine was at the ripe old age of about 24, and 28 years later, I've had a great fitness career. So I've been extremely active, not only myself, but in training clients. My job is active. And in the last 3 to 4 years, I've done or started 3 Ironman and finished 2, and I plan to do 1 next year for my 50th birthday. That's how well I've done coping with my injury. I was thrown from a horse onto a pile of wood. So I know that we can make some back injuries better. If you've had back problems for a long time, you may know you're always going to have to deal with it. There's some back problems, and we won't get into all of them, that aren't going to go away completely. But if we can reduce the incidence of further injury, if we can reduce the frequency or the intensity of the pain when you do get it, then we've done something good. So if 6 months or 9 months from now you could feel better than you do right now, wouldn't it be worth one more email? And if it doesn't work, you can unsubscribe quicker than you can sign up in the first place. So one thing I want to warn you about, in the personal training industry or any business industry, marketers are out there who maybe don't have optimal or ideal services to offer, and they don't intend to do anything wrong or intend to harm you, but they may not know enough about what it is that they're selling, but they are excellent at marketing it. And that's where I want you to be a buyer beware. So you may read or hear things like this. Here's the number 1 stretch you need to do first thing in the morning to prevent your back pain. Or here's the worst stretch possible that you could do for your back. And you get the idea. So the worst and the best and the always and the never, those words are red flags, I hope, if you've had back pain. But I'll give you a tip on this one. The best stretch to do first thing in the morning is no stretches. And that's a huge change. So if 5, 10, 20 years ago, you ever had a back problem, your doctor or chiropractor, any allied health professional probably was telling you, stretch before you even get out of bed in the morning. Pull up one knee, the other knee, bring both knees into your chest, loosen up a little bit before you get out of bed. That's changed. Within the last 3 years, new research is saying that because we lie horizontal all night, generally the fluid in our discs between our joints, and so in this case between each of the vertebrae in your back, those discs fill up. So what happens first thing in the morning is you feel stiffer, but it may not be related to arthritis or some other condition that you've got in your back. It may be only related to those discs, and there's already pressure there. So if you put additional pressure on it by trying to stretch, get it away, or trying to exercise it out, you may actually be doing more harm than good. So there are some research studies showing that there are more injuries that occur first thing or early hours of the morning after somebody rises than later in the day related to this problem. So what's the best thing for you to do? If the worst thing is to actually stretch, the best thing for you to do is just to get up and go about your usual morning activities. So you're upright. Gravity is going to take care of some of that. So usually by the end of the day, we have less fluid in those discs anyway. So for instance, if you have knee problems, probably your knees feel better early in the morning, unless you've got a certain kind of arthritis, and that might not be true. But if you try to run, for instance, if you even are a runner, running later in the day, the older you get, tends to be less comfortable, because by that time we've all got less fluid in any of our discs in our body. So later in the day though, for exercise for a back issue, within 2 to 3 hours even of rising, if you feel looser, more able to move around comfortably, it probably is very related to your discs. So then it's a little safer to go about a gentle stretching and ease into your exercise. So don't try to overdo it or do it abruptly, but still gradually progress into higher intensity, and you should be fine. But that's your solution for right now. One of the best things that you can do is to change that, and you have to change your mindset, because for so many years we were hearing otherwise. So stretching later in the day versus earlier, and click here for more tips, and I'll see you on the other side.